Hello Aries, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. This reading is timeless. Whenever you get it, you're meant to see it, I guess. We are doing, me and Spirit. I know no one else is here with me right now. So we're going to be doing your current and future energies. This is what I would typically call your archetype energy reading. So we're going to, I'm using this archetype deck this week. I'm also using what the heck is the French word for this deck? It's, I want to say Shiwu, but it's, oh gosh, it left my head. You know what? I'm a little distracted because, well, you can see I'm in a different space and I'm moving around all the time now. So I'm moving, I found a place, it's all good. But I am packing and I'm doing videos whenever I want to do them right now. And I'm putting them out there whenever they're ready to go out. So yeah, you'll probably be getting this the day I'm making it, the day I'm recording it. I'm just realizing, so my laundry room is on the second floor, which I love. I've never had that before. It's so awesome because you don't have to carry laundry up and down any stairs because all your dirty clothes are pretty much where you take them off in your bedroom upstairs. So it's right above the kitchen, which is where I am. And it's a little noisy because I'm doing laundry right now. So I know in the past, you probably heard me when I was in sort of my office area, you would hear when my laundry was done and this beautiful music would play. Now, you're just going to hear like this big vibrating sound. That's pretty much it. And the gush of water. What are we going to do, man? We just got to deal with what we got. The cards we are dealt with. So let's see what you're dealt with. Oh, there's an extended at the end of this reading as well. And so I'm looking at your current and your future energy in this reading. So what I'm going to do, what I do in the extended is I look at the energy in between those 2 points. It's kind of in between. I don't know why. It's like as soon as I wake up in the morning, I hear what I'm supposed to do, what style of reading I'm supposed to do, because you'll see that I'm not even following that anymore. There's no week 1, 2, 3, 4. Yesterday I did Pisces, and they were the high priestess. And it was funny, I was eating pomegranates too yesterday. And today, it's the archetype. And that's what we got to do. And I feel funny because I just did that in between reading with the moon and all that. But I don't know. So there's got to be something here for you. So that's what the extended is all about. What the heck sits in between your current and your future? And the link is at the top of the description. Did I get it all in there? This is general reading. Don't take it personal if it doesn't fit your story. What do you got right now? I'm like, listen here. The king. So your current energy is the king. Enlightened, benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. I swear to God, I will not steal your reading. I know, the reading is for who it's meant for, right? And I've had so much shit going on in my life, I feel like sometimes these readings are for me. But I don't want to do that, Spirit. I want to give to the group. Maybe y'all are going through. So that's another possibility. I thought about that. I have these deep periods of thinking, often when I'm either like doing my stretches after my workout or I'm sitting on the toilet or in the shower. Those are like my 3 areas of thought. So I think it was this morning on the can. And I was thinking, maybe all the people that come to my channel are experiencing so many similar things that I'm experiencing. I'm not really stealing your readings because it's something that I'm thinking about. Like, I don't want to do that. Are we all on the same path, my homies? Are we? Is that what's going on here? So your future, let's see what your future is. See what our future is. Ooh. I'm never sure how to pronounce this. The Hedonist? I think it's the Hedonist. Inspires creative energy to embrace good things in life. Celebrates the beauty in yourself. Oh, this looks good. I like this. She's got like a bowl of fruit. She's enjoying life. That sounds good, right? Because the king has a lot of responsibility. This dude, he's carrying what looks like the moon. He's got the stars on his back. He's got the sun over his shoulders. Yeah, there's a lot of responsibility going on with that. And this one is a little more relaxed. So you're probably in a point in time right now where you have a lot of responsibility that you're carrying on your shoulders. Maybe you have to show a lot of leadership in your life and the lives around you. I'm feeling like in the future you're going to be able to take a little bit of a break. Really kind of celebrate yourself. Maybe celebrate your accomplishments. Go into a creative period of time. A very creative period of time. The king, I want to say, is not one that has a lot of time to be creative. And it doesn't tell us, like, it's not the King of Wands or the King of, I was going to say the King of Stars. That's interesting. But it's just a king. So you think about the responsibility, you know, enlightened, benevolent leadership. I mean, that would be a healthy king energy. There is a shadow attribute here to it. I'm not really, whenever I've done the archetypal readings, I don't tend to focus on the shadow unless it screams at me. This one isn't, but I'm being called to say the shadow of this one is excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. Well, there's a lot of that goes on in the world right now, that's for sure. What's at the bottom? The Thief. Light sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Well, that's interesting. That's at the bottom. El Key. That's the name of this deck. So the El Key. So being in a period of energy, in a cycle right now where you need to kind of be the leader in what's going on. The king has to make the big decisions too. The king has to make the big decisions. Sometimes those big decisions may not please everyone. Like maybe you have people working under you or around you, and you have to make decisions based on the betterment of the higher good of all, of the whole group. And some people have to take a tiny hit on that, or, you know, maybe you have to take a tiny hit on that. So it's a lot of responsible energy that sits with the king. So the hedonist, I think that's how you say that, the hedonist, this is almost like the king on vacation. The king on a little bit of vacation. So your interesting underline here, sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. It kind of rings true for me with where this is going a little bit. Having to do what you have to do. And that's all there is to it. We're kind of in a world like that right now. You just got to do what you got to do. I was talking to a couple of friends, and one in particular, it's funny, she does watch my channel. And she's been through a lot of shit. I've been through the shit. And she's an Aries too, so hey, shout out to you, girl, if you're watching. But yeah, and she's had to take on a lot of like really heavy responsibilities, and also contemplating putting some responsibilities on someone else in her family group. She doesn't really want to do that, but you know what? It's probably time, and it would help the situation better for everyone. It's kind of like that energy, and then going forward into the future where you do have some time here to appreciate yourself. That's what it feels like. Having some time to appreciate yourself, that kind of comes in a double way. Maybe circumstances and situations that have played out for you in the last little while, I've kind of stolen that from you, have stolen the ability or the time, even the inclination, you know. I got a lot of packing to do. I'm inclined to spend a lot of time thinking about my deeper self right now, except perhaps when I'm in the shower on the toilet, or what was the other one? And doing my stretches after I exercise. Right? So because thief, stolen, I'm kind of getting that, like maybe time has been stolen from you a little bit in terms of being able to appreciate yourself and appreciate the fine things. Appreciating ourselves is also appreciating the fine things around us, the beauty in life, the beauty that life has to offer. So that's your future. So now I'm going into the Alki deck, and I want to pull out, because these are really good. So you could almost call these like kind of archetypal cards, really, on a very cyclical basis. But so I want to pull one out each for your current and your future, and then I'm going to get into the tarot cards. We're going to find out what you've been working on, what you've been healing, what is starting to blossom, all that sort of stuff for you with the tarot. And I think this is the last, well, I'll probably do more than one reading today, but today will be the last day I record with this thing out of my mouth. I think so. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. I think it comes out, unless they're tricking me. She who doubts. Wow. She who doubts. The king, right? There's so much responsibility. See, the king has to really think about things from a logical perspective. The king may not have a lot of time to think about what is God asking of me? What is the universe asking of me, right? The king is just kind of thinking, well, you know what? They're storming the gates. I better do this. It's very, very reactive, very strategic, taking on taking on the responsibility. But maybe you have even some doubt in yourself about what you can or cannot handle. I'm feeling a bit like doubting circumstances and situations around you, not being quite sure about where things are going for you. I'm in this reading with you. I feel it. So, but also perhaps doubting, like, can you do all this? Because this is the king. This is the king, right? So where are you going here? She who questions, curiosity, destiny, and search. Wow, this is really cool. I'm excited for all of us. This Aries. This future energy looks so exciting. It's just so exciting. It really feels like you're going to have the opportunity to relax, to enjoy the beauty in life, to question the possibilities, to be curious again. It's very Aries energy, to be very curious, to search for new things, to want to explore and see what life has to offer, and kind of enjoy yourself and put yourself in that as well. What's at the bottom? Do I dare look? Oh dear. She who hopes. Love, hope, and relationships. I always think this is cute. She's looking down at the little frog. The little frog under the bridge. That's really funny. Oh, I think it's finished. One of them is. I don't know if it's the washer or the dryer, but I just heard a little song. So one of them is finished. I hope it's the washer, because the dryer is not very noisy. So now we're going to go to the tarot, and it's a deck I haven't used in a while. I love this deck. It's so pretty. I don't remember what it's called. It's probably down below. Why the whole thing is like, I don't read reversals anyways. So in the current energy, what have you been working on? We're going to look at, we're going to ask the tarot, what have you been healing, and what is getting ready to blossom for you? That's what we're going to look at in the current energy. And then in the future energy, which according to sort of like the archetype, like what sort of state of mind, being, function you will be in. So we're going to ask the tarot, what will you finish working on? And it might not even be related to what you've been working on. Like you have multiple things that you could be juggling in life. What will be healed, and what will be ready for you to harvest. So that is like a real full completion, something that's ready to be, something that you've worked towards. Who knows? I mean, this could be something you've been working on for years, and all of a sudden it finally happens for you. So let's get started with the tarot, Aries. My fireball babies. You know, isn't that downright interesting? Oh, sorry, I just look at all the purpley blue color in both these cards. She's got that, like her bandana. Oh my gosh, it's funny. She looks like a gypsy, and I was just thinking to myself, I feel like a gypsy. I have to move anymore. I do. I'm doing tarot readings. I'm moving from one community to another. Yeah, maybe you're feeling like that too, like a little displaced. But the universe is doing that for a reason. I know they're doing it. They're doing it for, look at that. But isn't that interesting? That someone, Enid, I don't know, she just reminds me of, like, she's got that whole look, like the, I mean, it's like a silk scarf or something, but wrapped around her head, and it would hang down, and it reminds me of just the depictions of what I would see of the gypsies and the tarot readers, and she has a scar across her face. I mean, that was a difficult life. You know, interesting book that I was just reading in my little community book club was the Tattooist of Auschwitz. Really interesting story. And one of the, you know, I've read, yeah, I guess I did, but it's not something that I really, and it's not really told a lot, but gypsies were also one. There were many different groups that were taken to the concentration camps, and gypsies were also one of them. And actually that was told in this story, and it was really quite sad because whole communities came in. The tattooist, he was a Jewish man, and he was kind of in a different area from everyone else, and the gypsies were brought in, and they were there for quite a while. It was men, women, children. It was like basically a whole community. And he really bonded with them. I think it took him a while. He knew quite a few different languages. He was quite an educated man. He knew quite a few different languages. He was quite young too. Like, this is taking place in his very early 20s for him in this story. I really encourage you to read it. It's a pretty interesting book, The Tattooist of Auschwitz. You know, a group of people who perhaps their story is not told. Maybe you're feeling like someone too. Perhaps your story is not told. Perhaps your story has not been told yet. Perhaps your story is still unfolding. That's really what it is. Perhaps your story is still unfolding. I'm not going to get into what happened. We all know what happened there. It's really sad. And then here, the flowers that she's holding in the She Who Questions, it just feels like this same kind of ruby red and pinkish and warm. It's warm. This all feels like the royal colors. And what is royalty? How do we define royalty? Because the people that were running places like Auschwitz, they were horrible, horrible people. But yet the people that were encamped in there, that were kept there, that were murdered in there, they were the divine. They were divine energy. So whatever you're going through, Aries, like whatever you guys are going through, and I'm really talking to you right now, like for you. Not everything I'm going to say is going to resonate with me, but I'm really getting the strong message for whoever needs to hear it. That you may feel like your story is not being told, or your story is not unfolding the way you think it should. But on some level here, I do feel like you're very divine. Like the people that are often the most destitute, the humble. What is it? The humble will inherit the earth. The meek, or the meek will inherit the earth. And being meek does not mean you are not strong, but it also means there's a humbleness to you. I'm really feeling somebody I feel like really needs to hear that. There's some sort of connection here with the idea of the gypsies and their story kind of being very untold, not told to the extent and the extreme of many. And there's many groups of people whose stories are not told. Right? So anyway, I don't know, I just felt really strongly. I had to say that for someone. So in the future, this is so warm. This is just like, I know the heart chakra is green, but I'm really feeling that. Like, this warm. It's really warm and inviting. Very warm and inviting. Okay, so let me get to the tarot. That just happens sometimes. Like I think I'm done, and then something more starts to come in as I'm sitting here looking at the cards. It also tells me, because you're going from this bluey purple to this reddish pink, and both cards are signifying those colors, that there's a definitive split here. Where you are now is not anything like where you're going to be in the future. What we've been working on, what we've been healing, what is starting to blossom, what we finished working on, what will be healed, what will be ready to harvest. I feel like I'm just doing the reading again. Wow. Wow, this is good. You have the Four of Swords and the Ace of Wands at the bottom. And the Moon. And we're like it's in the Tower is reversed. Oh, it's kind of interesting. When this tarot card, I don't really read reversals unless it screams at me. And this is just telling me, like, because it's reversed, I stop reading the underline. But look at the way, when this tarot card is reversed, it looks like he's falling back up to the top of the building and towards the sun, doesn't it? That's kind of cool. If you've had a few tower moments in your life lately, maybe it's going to flip upside down. That's kind of what this energy feels like between your current and your future. Flip upside down. The Four of Swords, resting and healing, recovering. And then the Ace of Wands, a new beginning into the unknown with the Moon. A very new, enlightened, and enlivened new beginning. But the possibilities, you don't really know. I kind of feel like that. I'm really in here with you guys. I'm thinking like, I'm not really quite sure why I'm supposed to move. I know that the universe wants me to move. I don't really see what the difference between being here and across. I'm kind of just going across one major intersection where I'm moving. So I don't know. But anyways, we just have to trust. We just have to trust. What have you been working on? Justice. You have been working on justice. You have been, feels like very actively participating with this king energy, very actively participating in finding balance, creating balance. And maybe that's what you're supposed to do. There are times when we're supposed to trust in the divine. Everybody's different. And when I go through the zodiacs, I can really feel that energy. And I'm an Aries sun, so I'm right here with you guys. In terms of Aries is a very much, I need to do this today. I want to go and do this. I want to get it done. And it is a great way to manifest, because action is one of the most key elements in manifesting anything. If you don't take action, you're never going to get anything. You might get the odd thing that kind of falls at your feet, but most of the time, no. You got to kind of go for what you want. So I do want to say, and I recognize it in myself too, that it's not always easy to just turn that off and to say, okay, well, where are we going today, divine? Where are you going to take me? And then when it's big things that have to do with your life, like where you live or where you work, people that you share your energy with, like on really big levels, it's one thing to say, yeah, you're just going to go for a walk in the woods and Spirit's telling me to go left today, I'll go left. It's not a big decision in your life, so it's not as hard to let go. So I want to say, like, for the most part, most of the fire signs are probably a little bit like that, like even Leo and Sagittarius. When it's time to let go, it's time to let go. So I'm feeling like you have been working in and out of that with justice, because with this king energy, I do feel very much like you've had to take action at certain times, and you've taken the action to sort of bring justice to yourself, to bring justice to your karmic path, to bring justice and balance, to try to clear karmic energy. See, what you've been healing, I gotta tell you, if you saw my video, Dark Night of the Ego, what have you been healing the devil? I don't know, have you done what I did? Did you look the little devil in the face to tell him where to go? I keep mine on a little choker chain now with a little, my little bitch. So yeah, I've been healing this dude. Anything that makes you feel small, makes you feel trapped. For myself, it was like looking, like really literally having to look back at where I've come from in life. And does that define me now? How do I exercise and work through that? So you've been healing it too, guys. You're doing great. Now, what is starting to blossom? The Ace of Pentacles. Again, I have to laugh. I'm really sorry because I'm moving to a new house. Maybe you're moving to a new house. Maybe you've been trying to get a new job somewhere. Maybe you'd like to get a new car. This is something very new in your life that you can hold. Look at this person is holding it. They're cupping it. It's physically in your life on some level. So it's getting ready, it's starting to blossom. This is starting to happen here for you. That's what's going on in your current energy. We're working on justice and you're healing the devil. That's so neat. All right, into the future. I'm going to clarify as well here. What will you finish working on? The Seven of Wands. Oh, this is interesting how that plays out. So the Seven of Wands is kind of being defensive. Not really sure who you can trust down there. I don't know. Which one are you going to hit me in the knee? I'm not sure. But, you know, what I like about this, and I've had this message coming before, is when you put down the Seven of Wands, a really great way to come out of that is the Ace of Wands. Because you've moved past everything, anything that you thought you couldn't trust, anything that you weren't sure about, any situations that made you cautious, and then you just hold the one wand and you move forward. You move forward in your new beginning. So, because look at this, you know, I'm coming back to her again. Fear, weariness, and trust. Because she does have this big scar across her face, and it's almost as if she has to hide. And she's reminding me of the gypsies, right? Like they had to move in and out often in the night, or any business they did was at night, because no one would admit they went to see the gypsies. And you know, like a lot of these energies would go in there in the night and visit them in their camp where they were, for all sorts of different services. But you know, they were not looked upon well in the daylight, having to face two aspects of their experience. So I can see, like in some way, almost maybe on some level in life, feeling sort of persecuted or not understood or accepted. So kind of coming out of the shadow. But of course, because that's what your archetype energy is, this is just finally enjoying like the pleasures in life. And then what will be healed is the sun. I love that too, because that Tower card in reverse, it looked like he was falling towards the sun now instead of falling to the ground. The sun. Recognizing the beauty within you, recognizing your own inner child and who that is and who you've always been, and taking that path and finding your wish fulfillment. Really the happiest and brightest days of your life. Healing. This is, I just feel like though, what you've been healing is the devil, and what will be healed is the sun. It's really coming out of maybe some darkness, confusion, feeling trapped, feeling without options, doing inner child work, healing your inner child, really looking at that and allowing, kind of complete it. Because now look at what happens here. What's ready to harvest? The Ten of Wands. This is all like happening in a really good order. The Ten of Wands, you're dropping the burden. How many things have you picked up along the way? How much responsibility do you hold? Have you been holding? Again, the king would be one that is holding a lot of responsibility. The king is one who's trying to juggle a lot of things and keep a lot of things going. Putting them all in this backpack, and it weighs you down. You can't use your arms to do anything else. You've got to hold on to everything that you have here. But, you know, I don't know what you're going to say. You're going to have a big basket of fruit there. I don't know. You think they could stick a couple brownies in there? I think they should stick a couple brownies. We shouldn't say that. I don't have as much time to exercise anymore. And then I have all these brownies and Beaujolais I got to work off from Christmas. All right. I'm going to clarify for you. I don't know. I just, you know, the tarot cards actually seem. Let's see what I feel like with the Justice card, because justice can be physical things happening in your life, but can also be energy and karmic cycles that are being balanced and cleared. Sorry, I just gotta push everything down. So let's see, there could be things that you're actually, you know, maybe you're not even aware of everything that you're doing in this karmic energy, like what you're kind of clearing or changing or balancing here. So let's see what it says for you for justice, the Justice card. The Four of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles. That is like really talking about going from still energy to like movement, putting the work in, being able to put the work in, having a safe place to put the work in too. That's kind of interesting how I see that. Because with the Five of Pentacles, right, it's not, they're kind of put out in the cold. They don't have a place to go. They don't have a place to go. And then having a place to go. But where you're going, either going, communication too. I feel like for some of you, this could be a job. With the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like for some of you, this could be a job. You could get some communication. Maybe you've been trying to move where you work. That's interesting, because when I was wanting to pull out clarifiers for the Justice card, I wanted specifically to pull something out that may be something that you're not aware of. So for some of you, this could be a job. Let's see what this Ace of Pentacles is, because it's starting to blossom for you. The Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands. It has to do with something that you're ready to harvest, something that you're ready to release, a heavy burden. So let's go over there and take a look at that. This Ten of Wands that Aries is getting ready to harvest. The Two of Swords, the Five of Swords, and Judgment. Wow. Oh, wow. Do you know what message comes in with this Judgment card? I keep going back to the gypsies. I want to go and read all about them now. I want to know more about their history. I was very intrigued with what I read, the short little bit in the Tattooist of Auschwitz. But, like a very, judged. Being judged. I can't say it well. I'll be glad when this comes out of my mouth, I tell you. I don't know what they're putting in there, though, after that. A heavy burden of being indecisive. Having to walk away. Gosh, you know what, though? I don't feel like you're... In this story, with this Ten of Wands... I don't feel like you're the one holding the swords while others walk away. I kind of feel like you're the one walking away. So I got to come close so you can really see that. I really feel like, because I keep playing out in this gypsy story, is really coming through to me, to you, in this reading. And... right now, the Two of Swords is playing out in the night. Because she's standing there. It's dark. It's nighttime. That is a waning moon. I've taught myself to memorize that now. The waxing moon is on the other side. So this is a cycle that is almost coming to an end. Indecision in the dark. Having to be the one that is asked to walk away, or feels you need to walk away. And then you have the Judgment card. So maybe feeling judged about who you are, where you've been, what you've been doing, your life path. But I think the final judgment that should ever be done is the judgment that you make upon yourself, that you place upon yourself. Because regardless of what anyone else thinks of you, or knows of your path or your journey, I mean, the most important judgment at the end of the day is allowing yourself to move forward, not carry any heavy burdens from the past. That's what releases this new beginning for you. I keep getting work for someone. Maybe in a previous experience, you were judged by something at work, or you worked somewhere where you were judged. You were dismissed through something somehow. But release this. Release whatever you feel didn't work out for you, because it's not really your story. So the devil, you've been healing this little son of a gun. The devil. It's been slow. A slow, arduous process. A very slow, step-by-step process. Whatever this is for you, it's not something that, because it's the Knight of Pentacles, it's been very slow. It's been a very slow process. Maybe it's taken months, years, decades, whatever it is. It's some deep inner healing that's taking place here. I never noticed that before, but the masculine, like, human figure in this picture is not looking at the feminine at all. The masculine is not looking at the feminine at all. See that? Here he is. He is right here, and he is not looking at the feminine at all. Almost like trying not to look, like, I won't look. So whether you're male or female in this reading, I feel like at least the feminine side of you not being acknowledged, or not Yeah, there is some imbalance here between masculine and feminine energy. I mean, there's going to be all sorts of imbalances with the devil. But there's definitely some sort of imbalance there. And maybe you not even, like, because Aries is a masculine sign. So, and it's like yang energy. It's, what did I talk about? That go-getter, that let's do this today, let's find this new path, this new journey. But needing to sometimes, like, we have to turn that switch off sometimes. And I do other readings where I have trouble telling them to turn the switch on. You have to go and do shit today. You gotta go and do it. Don't just wait for the universe to deliver it to you. You gotta go and do it. So we all have to deal with different elements of this, right? But I do feel like with Aries, something here, because you're masculine, maybe anything that's played out for you in the past leading up to your current point in time here has been about creating the balance between the masculine and the feminine. Because the feminine is that yin, and it is kind of staying still, and it is taking the time to look within, to nurture, to connect with nature and the divine, where the masculine energy is to do it. So this is too how it's playing out for you, allowing those two energies to come into balance. The Seven of Wands, what will you finish working on? The Seven of Wands. Oh my gosh. The Eight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Page of Swords, the Ace of Wands. This is a stop and go. I feel like stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. Where it fell? It was the ace here. Did you have an Ace of Wands somewhere else? Or that was under, yeah, that was under the Four of Swords. And look at this. The Eight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, then the Page of Swords, and then the Ace of Wands. So, there'll be no more stop and go, I feel like. Or, like, there's a part of you that really wants to go, but you can't go. There's something keeping you back. It's just sort of talking to me more about this devil energy that you've been dealing with, and trying to move beyond it, trying to look for different ways and understand how you can do this, and then just having your new beginning. It's a great new beginning because you have two Ace of Wands cards that are, well, you do have the Ace of Pentacles too, which is like not just an energetic new beginning, it's something real and tangible. The Sun, what will be healed for you is the Sun card. The Five of Wands, the Seven of Swords, and the Hermit. There's a lot of conflict. That could be a lot of inner conflict too, because the Hermit is looking at all of this. It could be dealing with, well, I mean, if we have an inner conflict, our lives are all affected by things that happen around us, and it's how we interpret that and deal with it too and understand it. So perhaps instances in life, situations you've dealt with where there was conflict, there was competition, there was inability to communicate properly. The Seven of Swords too is just getting out of there. And contemplation. So it does feel like even completing some sort of a hermit energy, where you would have spent time looking at internal conflict for yourself. The Three of Pentacles is at the bottom. I'm just checking. I don't think there's anything else here. Oh, I forgot to unplug. Sorry, I just realized I forgot to unplug Lily's little water fountain too. It's probably picking up on there. Oh well, what are you going to do? You can hear me. Three of Pentacles and the Chariot are at the bottom. Finally moving forward in connections. For some of you, work where you have really good energy, very collaborative. And when I say collaborative, I mean, you know, everybody's having a really good give and take. There's something to learn from each person as well as you. Your ideas being understood and heard, and those ideas can grow in the hands of others, as well as people around you who have good ideas, concepts, and within your hand and others, those ideas can grow. It's a great energy. It's really, you know, what would make the world go round really, really well if it always worked properly. So, Aries, I'm going to look at your extended. I'm going to go do the extended. The link is at the top of the description. As I said, I'm going to look at the energy between your current and your future. Until next time, to be gentle with yourselves. Bye.